from Fox 5, former New York City COVID czar caught on camera bragging about attending sex parties with wife. And it looks like at least one of the local New York stations has picked up on the Steven Crowder story, which was pretty huge, right? We got to keep the pressure on them, but it's also fairly predictable. From scumbag greaseball bang your wife Governor Gavin Newsom to San Francisco Mayor London Breed, Gretchen Whitmer, these people are despicable. It is the epitome of rules for thee, but not for me. And shout out Steven Crowder, because I don't know, we shall see, but I highly doubt that the folks over at Fox 5 New York are going to give him the credit he deserves. But either way, my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
It would help me a lot and cost you nothing. But if you wanted to help me even more and spend a little bit of money, you would buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, on Amazon.com. That link will be in the description.
City's COVID czar, former COVID czar, Dr. J. Varma, is not denying that he partied during the pandemic, but he says his shocking comments caught on hidden camera are taken out of context. Let's get right to Good Day's Briella Tomasetti. She is live.
We love this, right? Oh, it's taken out of context. Now, ask Kamala Harris. Ask Bo Jiden, right? How many times are they going to take every single thing that Donald Trump says completely out of context? A whole bunch of it has been totally debunked, but they just repeat it. And they don't care about context when they say something, but when they're caught doing something, well, of course it's taken out of context, which I don't think it was. Now, it might have been edited for time, but this guy was literally sitting across the table from a woman he thought he was on a date with, even though he's married, saying despicable things. And why should he see any consequences? Because, of course, he works for the Democratic regime.
Live at City Hall this morning with the latest. Briella, good morning.
Tashani, yeah, good morning to you. And if you're just catching up, Dr. J. Varma was caught on camera, secretly recorded, talking about how he hosted drug-fueled sex parties, went to underground raves, and had to, quote, be kind of sneaky about it because he was running the entire COVID response in the city. Former Mayor de Blasio praised him for his handling of the pandemic, which included a highly controversial vaccine mandate that got some people fired and forced others to quit their jobs.
Yeah, we remember that when they were dragging kids out of Applebee's for failure to show their paperwork. But this guy was having a weird orgy sex fest and telling everybody else that they should stay home. And look, if you watch the full video, I think it's like 20 minutes long or something, he quite literally is admitting that he is not forcing people. We didn't force anybody, but we made all of these mandates. We took away your job. We took away the schools. We took away all that stuff. So, of course, it would make it much easier for you to get the shot and then fast forward a year and it just doesn't even really matter. Then you also have the Johnson & Johnson recall, right? And you have, oh, go get another one. Go get another one. They're still doing it to this day. And there's another video I want to take a look at out of the Bay Area, clear across the country after this one, which these people are obviously playing from the exact same corruption playbook. But how can you have a guy doing these despicable things and then still telling folks that you better get vaccinated, you gotta get the updated shot, yeah, I'm a doctor. Yeah, okay, bro.
Neither de Blasio, who appointed Varma, or the current mayor, Eric Adams, commented on the scandal, but this certainly isn't the last we'll be hearing about it.
Do you think you'd have gotten like a hard time if New York City found out that you were having sex parties during COVID?
Yeah, it would have been real embarrassing.
Yeah.
In a scathing video released by conservative podcaster Steven Crowder, Dr. J. Varma, New York City's former COVID czar, boasts about throwing sex parties during the height of the pandemic. The clips posted to Crowder's YouTube channel seem to have been compiled from several different recordings where Varma is caught on camera speaking to a woman about hosting drug-fueled orgies with his...
Because he was so thirsty that he went on multiple dates with this woman, even though he's married, and told her everything about his terrible handling of the pandemic. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible for him. It was terrible for most New Yorkers. It was terrible for the state at large. But for him, I guess it will probably make life easier. And he's going to be able to rake in a little bit more money and cut some backdoor deals or whatever the hell's going on.
His wife, and attending underground dance parties with more than 200 people.
It was fun. We all took Molly.
In a statement released to the New York Times, Varma said he was targeted by an operative for an extremist right-wing organization determined to malign public health officials and take down the public...
Yeah. a right-wing extremist, they're the extremists. The ones who caught you on camera, they're extreme. But when you shut down everything and told people they couldn't even go to school or couldn't go back to their job because they failed to get the shot, that's not extreme at all. Absolutely wild.
Health system in America. He added, I stand by my efforts to get New Yorkers vaccinated against COVID-19. Varma didn't deny the recordings were real, but said they'd been spliced, diced, and taken out of context. He also admitted to attending 3 gatherings between August 2020 and June of 2021.
Everything that we do to prevent infections, keeping distance, wearing masks, washing our hands, we need to be even more rigorous about.
Keeping distance, he says, and I still have flashbacks to this day because a whole bunch of restaurants and all sorts of things still have these stickers on the floor, which obviously they ignore, but it is a reminder of how terrible it all was. That, and especially considering that we now know it's the social distancing that is completely arbitrary. We knew that in 2021 or 2022 that it was all completely fake. Oh, we don't really know where it came from, but the stickers are still there.
That same exact time period, Varma regularly appeared on Fox 5, encouraging New Yorkers to mask up, stay home, and practice social distancing as public health officials sought to contain the deadly virus.
These new variants account for 51% of all cases that we have in the city right now.
He also sat next to former Mayor Bill de Blasio, who tapped him for the job during daily news briefings.
Yeah, and you obviously can't trust former Mayor Bill de Blasio as far as you can throw him. I still go back and forth on whether Eric Adams or Bill de Blasio is worse. But remember when he said, when you think about vaccination, you could get a cheeseburger or fries.
Did you say free fries when you get vaccinated? I got vaccinated. You're saying I could get this? These delicious fries? Wait a minute. But there's also a burger element to this?
Check this out, man. I got these burgers, man. They some double cheeseburgers. Nigga, I just ate. Man, I just ate. Fool, I don't want no motherfucking cheeseburger.
It's updating New Yorkers about the city's progress in stopping the spread. Elected officials on both sides of the aisle are now speaking out. Joe Borelli, the city council's Republican minority leader, told The Times, I recall being treated like a pariah for pointing out the obvious at that time, that many of our so-called leaders were just making up illogical rules as they went along.
And for the record, this was not hard to see at all. Very early on in the pandemic, we will all remember, well, I certainly remember, being detained at City Hall Park in Lower Manhattan for protesting the lockdown, which I had no idea was going to get nearly as bad as it did. But protesting the lockdown with 24 people old enough to be my parents, right? You could see clear through it at the very beginning, and they were just getting started. That was well before mask mandates. That was well before the shot mandates. It was just like, no, what in the world are you guys doing? I'm thankful to have, I could see clear through it and got out of there, but either way.
Still, I couldn't have predicted how full of it they actually were. Democratic City Councilman Robert Holden called on the current mayor, Eric Adams, to investigate, telling the paper in part, it's alarming, especially with so many first responders, city workers, and everyday New Yorkers losing their jobs. After working for the city, Varma went on to become medical director at Weill Cornell Medical College's Center for Pandemic Prevention and Response. Now he is the executive vice president and chief medical officer at pharmaceutical company Siga Technologies. No word yet on how this news may impact his current job.
Yeah, okay, so obviously the medical, trust the science people, the medical regime, they've all been compromised. They cannot be trusted as far as they can be thrown, which is really terrible because now when you actually have a problem, you have to walk on eggshells to find a doctor that's going to actually help you rather than just be a puppet of the pharmaceutical industry and the weirdo regime telling you that you're going to die if you don't do exactly as I say right now. And here, clear across the country from Cron 4 in the Bay Area, they say health officials encourage residents to get updated Rona vaccines.
Bay Area health officials are encouraging folks to get the updated COVID vaccine.
Yeah, the health officials, right? The same one that we just saw, right? That was the top guy in New York City. He said that you should do as I say while he's going to sex parties. So now these people in 2024 in the Bay Area telling you that you better do it. It's going to be more safer that way.
Yeah, well, that comes free for those with insurance. A federal program that made those shots free for the uninsured has expired. But Santa Clara County health officials say that programs underway in their county will allow both the uninsured and underinsured to get the vaccine.
And that was another thing. I think a lot of people said early on, as soon as the vaccine came out, well, first one's free, bro. So we're going to try to get you hooked for free, and then it's going to cost you money moving forward.
Ground Force Dan Kerman reports.
In Santa Clara County, we're recommending that everyone 6 months of age and older get their COVID vaccine.
6 months. This is absolutely bizarre.
News conference Thursday, Santa Clara County health officials reminded residents to get the newly updated COVID-19 vaccine.
COVID is still more deadly than flu. So that of all people with COVID, a higher percentage with COVID will die than that percentage who will die with flu.
Oh, no. You are going to die if you don't do as I say.
So it's still, it's still serious. And that's why, of course, we recommend boosters when they come available, as they are now.
Santa Clara County Health Officer Dr. Sarah Cody says wastewater data shows the summer surge has passed, but winter will likely bring another surge, which makes the vaccine especially important.
AKA, it will never end. Oh, wait, first of all, why are you testing the wastewater? Second of all, well, wastewater data shows that the surge passed, but there's going to be another one. And you think that's going to be it? No, we're already 4 years in. They're going to do this forever, especially in an election year.
For those most at risk.
That would include people who are older or people with a chronic health condition that will make them more likely to have a severe illness and require hospitalization.
While COVID-19 vaccines had been free to the uninsured or underinsured, that federal program no longer exists. But local health departments are stepping up by getting those folks who are eligible enrolled in Medi-Cal or connecting them with HAP, Santa Clara County's healthcare access program.
In Santa Clara County, I think that we have a mechanism so that anyone who needs a vaccine can get a vaccine.
When to get the updated COVID-19 vaccine varies depending on your specific circumstances, but medical...
Yeah, how about never, bro?
Experts seem to agree anytime between now and the end of October is a good time. In San Jose...
This is quite literally all they have, is just fear on every single level. Whether it's, oh, if you drive a truck, you're going to die. Oh, if you don't get the shot, you're going to die. If you have a gun, you're going to die, right? If you don't let your kid cut his junk off, he's going to die, and then you're going to be real. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Oh, and of course, the biggest one of all, that's like an umbrella for all of these things, is just racism, and they can roll those into a burrito. So if you fall on the wrong side of any of those issues, it's also racism.